South32 is approaching significant financial investment decisions for two metallurgical coals, Eagle Downs and the Dendrobium expansion project. The latest sustainability report says an update of our transition risk assessment will be conducted in FY21. Will South32 stress test the proposed coal expansion projects against a 1.5 degree warming scenario and disclose the results to shareholders before making those final investment decisions?
Thanks, Rebecca. And I might ask Graham to just comment on those two proposals in just a moment. But before doing so, you make the reference to the new plan, of course, that I referred to earlier as we think about our new targets. As part of that planning work, we do a scenario analysis, and part of our scenario testing for the next plan will include a 1.5 degree option, which we haven't had in our scenario work to date. So that's an important change and will certainly help inform how we set our targets going forward. But I would just say one thing before passing to Graham in terms of how we assess these proposals, and both of those that you speak about may well come to the board for consideration before our new plan is finalised. But in every capital management decision we make, we look at the emissions impact. It is a very important part of how we assess our projects and how we allocate capital under that third plank of the capital management framework we spoke about earlier. But Graham, you might have something to add.
Thanks, Karen, and thank you for the question. I guess I would start by saying, as an organisation, we've been very clear that we recognise the difference between thermal and metallurgical coal, and from day one we made the comment about not buying or building a new thermal coal business. Metallurgical coal is quite different at the moment than thermal coal. In terms of thermal coal today, there are viable alternatives that allow you to actually deliver the energy needs that people require, recognising that the developing world's probably moving at a slower pace than the developed world. But if you look at metallurgical coal, I have no doubt that hydrogen will eventually come and enable the production of green steel, but that's somewhere between the 20 to 30 year mark. If we think about where are we today, the reality is the world needs steel. The world needs steel to help lift people out of poverty and actually make a difference. What we can help in that space is we can help deliver some higher quality coking coal that basically does reduce the emissions compared to some of the lower grade coals. And certainly when we think about Illawarra, that would be the objective. Eagle Downs is a little bit different. Eagle Downs is it's an option that we bought, and we've been working on a feasibility study with our JV partner, Aquila Resources. That feasibility study will be completed by the end of this financial year, and then we'll make a final investment decision. That project will have to compete against other opportunities we have in the portfolio. To Karen's point, while we are updating our resilience work this year, we do run a number of different scenarios, and that'll go through that same kind of hurdle where we put a price on carbon and look at emissions. Dendrobium next domain, to be clear, is not new additional tonnages to the market. It's actually the continuation of a domain that basically gives us about 13 years worth of additional life, so it's not new tonnes. But those new tonnes actually are all metallurgical coal with no thermal coal fraction, and they are all high quality. So we do believe longer term metallurgical coal will have a challenge place, but if you think about the time frame of Dendrobium next domain in the next 13 to 15 years, it probably sits in that spot where the world will still need that high quality coking coal.